Okay, great to see everybody. We are actually starting sitting down. A little bit of a change. We'll be doing our warm up down here. So we'll start with our sitting down, then we're going to come up to do some beautiful lengthening through our body using those hips and thighs, and then ultimately back down onto our mat for some of our ab and side oblique work. Here we are now. We have our legs crossed. Bring your sits bones in so they're a little bit closer to your heels if you can. And the purpose there to stretch out those hips. Take a nice inhale through the chest and into the abdomen. So you're opening up this posture, filling up the lungs, feel the ribs expanding. And exhaling, we have our hands on our knees. We're taking our hands off our knees. On our necks, we're inhaling up, hands together, and exhaling down, almost to the floor. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Let's do 3 more. Inhaling up and down, warming up the shoulders, looking at a little bit of range of motion. Inhaling up, exhaling down. And last one. And sweep the hands as you come forward, bring the chest onto the ankles. Hands are clasped behind the back and forward fold, chest coming down onto the ankles, and lift the arms up and just feel that stretch through the biceps and the triceps. And breathing for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Release the hands, bring them onto the low back, and then bring the shoulders back and take your gaze up to the ceiling and bring that bottom jaw up. You're opening up the neck. The collarbone is exposed. Shoulders are away from the ears. Elbows are back. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And relax the body, bringing the hands back onto the knees. Bring the shoulders up to the ears and roll them behind. We'll do 3 rolls in each direction. And 2, and 1, and then forward. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then straight up. A nice shrug and down, up and down, up. And 2 more, and last one. A strengthening exercise for our neck and shoulders. Bring the shoulders back, just behind the ears, almost pushing them down to the floor, and then chin to chest. And really stretch out the back of the neck coming up into the skull. So keep the shoulders nice and low. Those shoulder blades are engaged, keeping the shoulders low, and then chin to chest, stretching out the back of the neck and breathing for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and then relaxing them. Inhale up, hands are above the head, bend the elbows and shooting the hands straight up above the head. And 5 more, and 4 more, and 3 more, and 2 more, and last one, and sweeping them down. Bring them onto the hips, just behind the hips. We're going to roll up onto our knees, bringing our body forward into child's pose. So release the feet, bring the hips down, and arms are up in front of you. Exhale, releasing any tension in the low back and allowing the abdomen to roll back into the floor. This is child's pose. Feet are together, knees wide. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Let's bring that up. We're going to move our first down dog. So bring the hands to the width of the mat. pop your hips up, come onto the balls of our feet, hips come up, and using the strength in the arms, push the hips up into the sky, and then pedal out the legs, shifting your weight from side to side, encouraging the heel to come into the floor with a little bend in the opposite knee. Beautiful. Down dog, getting some shape and definition in the hamstring, upper body doing lots of work, gaze through to the abdomen. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Push that heel in, feeling it through the back of the knee, and 1. And come to stationary, and hips are nice and high. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to move to half lift. So we bend the knees, shift your weight over your hands, step in, keep the knees bent, hips are low, fingertips on the mat. So we're a nice flat back. This is half forward. Feet are hip width apart. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And nice forward fold. So the hips come up, the head comes down. Bring your hands onto your elbow. This is in ragdoll. And move the elbows through a figure 8, opening up that low back, removing any tension through the hip, bending at our hip flexors, and figure 8, 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And release the hands and slowly come up to mountain, standing all the way up to the top. Mountain pose, back extension. Reach, lift up the kneecaps, thighs are engaged. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and swan dive. Back to forward fold. Exhaling all the way down. Putting your hands on our toes, encouraging the upper body to come onto the thighs. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and half lift. Bend the knees, drop the hips, flat back. Here, squeeze the buttocks, and squeeze the buttocks. 4, 5, and have them engaged. 4, 4, and squeezing the buttocks. 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and we're coming down onto the mat to plank. Exhaling in plank. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to come down in 5 to cobra. We'll be holding there and coming back up to our down dog. So we're coming down for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and cobra. 4, 5, and 4. Toes are pointed, knees off the mat, elbows in, and 3, and 2, and 1. Exhaling down, down dog. Up. 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. In relaxed pelvic floor. Into half lift. Engage 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Relax the pelvic floor. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Forward bend. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And we're coming up to chair pose. Come up nice and slow. Drop the hips. Knees are bent, hands are up to the ceiling, and gaze is up between the hands. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. We're going to shift our hands to airplane. So we're standing, we bring the hands to the floor, and they come straight out behind. So knees are still bent, hips are engaged, hands are out our back. Wiggle the fingers, engage the biceps and the triceps. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Return the hands. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and forward fold. Exhaling down. Chest wall on the thighs. 4, 5, and 4, and 3. Put your hands on the back of your shins and pull yourself in. 4, 2, and 1, and half lift. Flat back, chest is out, knees are bent. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Back down onto our mat for a plank. Holding in plank. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Coming down in 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and cobra. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Exhaling down, down dog. Hands are nice and strong. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. We're gonna do a little down dog flow. Bend your knees. You're on the balls of your feet. Shift your weight forward over your hands, and then pushing yourself back up. Bend the knees, weight over the hands, and jetting your body up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. We'll do 2 more. And last one. And hold here. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. On the inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Engage the pelvic floor. Step or jump into half lift. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and come up to mountain. We're going to stay standing for a little bit here. Reach with the hands. Hips are forward. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Roll the shoulders back. Just step it out for a moment. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. We're gonna do a nice little series of pyramid and triangles. We're staying in our position until we come back down onto the mat. So we'll start with our right foot forward, left foot back, both feet are forward. Take your stance a little bit wide so you have some balance. And we'll start with our first pyramid. So inhale, roll the shoulders back. Exhale, nice flat back, hands are out our side. So both legs are straight, knees are soft. We have our arms out the side. This is our pyramid. You can give this a little bit of a 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Soften the knee even more as you bring your upper body down onto the thigh. Hands are on the feet. And tuck that body in. Feel that stretch through the hamstring on the right side, thigh and chest. Touching if you can. Soften the knee. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And now we move to triangle. So lift the body up, bring the right hand on the foot, take the left hand up, and then straighten that right leg best you can and take your gaze up to the left. Beautiful triangle. Fingertips on the foot and reach with the left. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Return the left hand, come back up to pyramid, push the chest out. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and soften the knee and step up and walk it. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And moving on to the other side. So left foot forward, right foot back. Take your stance a little bit wide. Inhale and exhale. Flat back, arms out the side. Counting for 5 and breathing. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Drop the hands onto the foot. Make sure the knee is soft on the left side. And bring your upper body down. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Nice deep stretch. And 1. And then left hand, left toe. Reaching with the right. Take your gaze over to the right, and then take the body nice and strong. Arms are extended. And reaching. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring the hand down. Pop yourself back up to triangle. Flat back. Legs are nice and strong. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Soften the knees and walking. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. I'm at the back of my mat. I'm going to do a nice inhaling up, reaching with my hands as I swan dive, exhaling down, forward fold. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Inhaling up. Bring your hands onto your waist. Take your feet wide, and these really nice wide hip circles. We're stretching out the hips and the low back. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and change direction. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. We're going to come down to squat. We come down onto the mat. So take your feet wide. You're in great position. Feet are forward. Bring the hands down the outside of the thighs and start lowering your body. And then pop your heels up off the floor. So now we're squatting. We're wide. We're on the balls of our feet. Hands are on our knees. Beautiful upright back. Take a 3-part breath. And exhaling. Now very carefully, shift your weight onto your heels. Take your hips back and lift up your toes. Working on our balance here. And then you can add in the arms. So toes are off, we're on our heels. The weight of our hips on our heels, and arms are nice and long. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And bring the hands onto the floor, and we're gonna pop down onto the hips. Release the legs forward. I'm coming to the center of my mat. My hands are in staff position by my hips, pushing up, and we'll be staying on our mat for the rest of the session. Push the chest out and exhaling for 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to come over onto our right side. We're on our right forearm. Right knee is bent. And we're going to do some nice obliques. Lift up that left arm. We're exhaling down. We're inhaling up. We're exhaling down, inhaling up. Nice up and down motion. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one, as we come up, lift that top leg and point the toe. And hold 4, 5, bring the abdomen in. And 4, on the inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Engage the pelvic floor and exhale for 3. Pelvic floor is engaged for 2 and 1. Come back onto the hips and forward fold. Take your time, relaxing that back. Bring the face to the knees for 3 and 2 and 1. And moving on to oblique onto the other side. Bend the left leg. The hips up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. Get that leg up, point the toe, inhale, relax the pelvic floor. Engage the pelvic floor, exhaling 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and coming down. Bring the hips back. Push that chest up, staff position. Inhale, exhaling forward fold. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. As you come up, bring the feet flat onto the mat. Bring them in nice and close to the body. Give yourself a little hug here. Rock back and forth. And back to center, 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And pop your feet off, nice controlled roll onto your back. And control, balancing on the hips, all the way back. On your mat, head is on the floor. Hands can now come onto the back of the knees, or sorry, back of the thighs, and bring them into the body. And rocking back and forth. Four, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. Bring both hands onto the back. Wiggled off my mat there. Onto the back of the left thigh. Point the right toe. Leg is long, about 2 inches off the floor. Bring the knee in, pushing out with the heel. We are working the thigh into the groin and the quad on the right side. Push with the heel. Keep the foot low. Breathing. And 5 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. And on your last one, leave the leg extended off the floor, pointing the toe, and hold for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and switching sides. Hand on the back of the right. The foot is flexed through the motion, and then at the end, we point the toe. Push with the heel, bring the knee up to the face. Putting a little bit of pressure on that right leg, bringing it into the body. And 5 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one, and point the toe, and hold for 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and bring both the knees up for happy baby. So hands are on the outside of the feet, and give yourself a little rock back and forth. Knees are coming down to the outside of the chest wall. 4, 5, and 4, and 3, and 2. Feels so good on the low back. And 1. Bring the feet into bridge position. Hands are down our side, doing our pelvic tilt. So we roll the pelvis so that the low back is on the mat, and then we arch the back. Roll and arch, roll and arch, roll and arch. 2 more. Roll and arch, and roll and arch. And come to a nice neutral position. Bring the feet up above the head. We're going to use our Charlie's Angels hands. Hands are together. We've got our thumbs. We're going to come up to the outside of the right knee and down. And up to the outside of the left and down. Continuing to work across the body. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. Bend the knees. Feet are flat. Pelvic tilts. And 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. This time we bring the knees together. We can see them as we turn our gaze down toward our thighs. And we're going to tap the toes onto the mat and then bring the hips up off the mat. So tap the toes and then hips come off. Try not to let momentum do the work. Focus on your core doing the work. This is really good for the center of our abdominal muscles. We have worked our obliques, and now focusing on the center and strength through the hips. And we'll do 3 more. And 2 more. And last one. And come to corpse. We're laying down. Rotate the ankles in clockwise. We'll do both all directions. So and just allow the hips and the low back to relax. Everything is relaxed. Rotating the ankles for a 3 and 2 and 1, and then changing direction for 3 and 2 and 1, and then windshield wiper the ankles for 3 and 2 and 1. We're going to come to a seated straddle. So give yourself a little challenge. Use your core to bring yourself up. Take the feet wide. There goes a hip popping. Toes are up toward the ceiling. We're going to use the sinking breath technique. So on each exhale, we bring our chest down a little bit closer to the floor. Toes are up to the ceiling. Use your hands for some guidance. Exhaling. Exhaling. Chin is up. Toes are to the ceiling. Exhaling, and then when you find the position, hold. Ideally, your arms are really nice and long, reaching with those hands. And try to keep the chin up, which helps avoid the rounded back. And here we are, and hold for 5, hold for 3, 4, hold for 3, hold for 2, hold for 1. Use your hands to guide you back up. And now we'll fold over to the right side. So bring the left hand down onto the right leg, right hand nice and wide of the body, and bringing your nose down onto your knees. Back is nice and flat for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Coming up nice and slow. Back to the sinking breath. Hands are out in front for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And then up to the other side. 4, 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Butterfly. We're going to put our feet together. Bring as close to your sits bones as you can. And use your elbows on the inside of your thighs, down into your knees to really encourage those hips to open up. Stretching out the groin and the inside of the thigh. And take a nice 3-part breath. And exhaling. Stack your fists. This takes your elbows a little bit wider so that your elbows are now on your knees. You're going to bend over. You're making contact, your forehead to the top fist, and roll your head back and forth, getting a nice deep stretch through the neck. Take your time rolling the forehead, staying in contact. And 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Nice and slowly coming out of that pose. Just gonna slide myself back. Doing a nice hip stretch here. So this is a seated pigeon. So both legs are in front. Bring the right foot up onto the left thigh. And then using your hand, push the knee down a little bit. Holding your right foot. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. 4, 5 and 4. And 3 and 2 and 1, and moving to the other side. Nice tall chest. That hip down. This is a very controlled stretch. Breathing. On the exhale, feeling the tension coming out of the hip. And one hip is always a little more tight than the other. 4, 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And returning to a very nice, comfortable cross-leg position. Where we started, let's take a nice body scan as we do a 3-part breath. In through the chest, down into the throat, into the abdomen, and exhaling. Returning to normal breath. Hips are stretched. We use some nice forward folds to open up the low back. Our planks always engaging those arms and pectoral muscles. Let's bring our hands to chest. Put some pressure on the palms so the biceps and triceps are engaged. With the pressure on the palms, take the fingertips away from the body and just drop the hands a little bit lower. Feel the difference in how we use those muscles. And then flipping them out and back up. Again, keeping the pressure on the entire time. And one more time. And back up. And sweeping them. And namaste, ladies. Thank you very much.